Imagine a car so small, it could barely fit your groceries, but so revolutionary it changed the way an entire nation drove. It's the kind of underdog story Hollywood would kill for. But this isn't fiction. This is the Morris Minor, Britain's answer to affordable post-war motoring. But here's the kicker. While it was designed for narrow English lanes, this humble little machine ended up leaving tire tracks across the world, including the United States. And you might be surprised by just how much of a punch this pint-sized legend packed. But how did a car that looked more like a toy than a powerhouse become a global icon? And what dark secret almost killed it before it even hit the road? Stick around, because once you hear this story, you'll never see this tiny titan the same way again. Our story begins in post-war Britain, 1942 to be exact. The country was recovering from the devastation of World War II, and while most people were focused on rebuilding their lives, one man had a very different idea. That man was Alec Isagonisa, brilliant, eccentric engineer with a vision to create the perfect people's car. At the time, cars were a luxury, big, heavy, and expensive. Isagonis wanted to flip the script. His plan? A small, affordable, and practical vehicle that anyone could own. But here's the wild part. While most cars of the era were designed with straight lines and boxy shapes, Isagonis insisted on something radical. He wanted his car to be smooth, curved, and compact. Basically, a car that would look futuristic in the 1940s. His bosses at Morris Motors thought he was crazy. And honestly, can you blame them? When they first saw his prototype, it was so narrow that Isagonis had to sit sideways just to fit inside. Picture that. An engineer twisted like a pretzel in his own creation. Not exactly the image of success. And here's where things get interesting. While the Morris Minor was an instant hit in the UK, it didn't stop there. Despite its pint-sized frame, the car soon found its way across the Atlantic. And if you think American car lovers only had eyes for massive muscle cars and chrome-drenched Cadillacs, you're in for a surprise. Why would anyone in the US, land of big highways and even bigger engines, fall for a car that could practically fit in a pickup bed? The answer lies in timing. During the 1950s and 60s, rising gas prices and a growing fascination with European culture created the perfect storm for a car like the Minor. It was fuel efficient, quirky, and, let's be honest, kind of adorable. It stood out on American roads like a teacup in a sea of coffee mugs. And there was something else. This car had a personality, a rare thing in an era where most vehicles were designed to blend in. The Minor wasn't trying to be cool. It wasn't trying to impress you. It was just itself. And that authenticity struck a chord with a certain kind of driver, someone who valued practicality but wasn't afraid to be different. Of course, it didn't hurt that the Minor was built like a tank. Its simple, robust engineering made it easy to repair, something that made it especially popular among students and free spirits in the 1960s. This wasn't just a car, it was a statement. By the 1970s, the automotive world was changing fast. People wanted faster, sleeker cars with modern conveniences. And while the Minor had charm, it couldn't outrun the march of progress. Production finally ended in 1971, marking the end of an era. And get this, there are rumors that modern automakers are eyeing the Minor's legacy for inspiration. Could we see a 21st century reboot of the Morris Minor? Imagine a sleek electric version paying tribute to its quirky predecessor. If that happens, you heard it here first. So what's the real legacy of the Morris Minor? It's simple. This tiny car proved that you don't need a big engine or a flashy design to make a lasting impact. All you need is a bold idea, a little stubbornness, and a whole lot of heart. And here's a question for you. What other forgotten classics deserve a comeback? Let us know in the comments,